Have you ever wondered why even the most powerful signs of the zodiac silence before the presence of a Scorpion? Why is such an intense, mysterious, and indomitable energy felt even when he doesn't say a word? Scorpion is not just a sign. It is a portal, a spiritual seal, an invisible force field that carries the ability to reveal truths that the world would prefer to keep hidden. And according to Edgar Cayce, the sleeping prophet, this energy is not from this plan. It was sent. Scorpio did. Not come to please. It came to transform. While the other signs seek balance, love, light, Scorpio plunges into darkness, face their own abyss, and return wisely that few would bear carrying. This is the true reason behind the silent fear that the zodiac feels. Scorpio energy active trauma exposes masks, reveals intentions. There is no way to hide when a Scorpion watches you. He feels what you try to shut up. He knows what you pretend not to be. And this is exactly why so many fear this sign. Because it carries a spiritual mission that challenges the limits of human understanding. A mission that Edgar Cayce described as collective transformation through pain, truth, and symbolic death. Scorpio is the sign that is reborn, that crumbles to become even stronger, that by touching its essence it awakens not only its power, but the hidden fate of all around it. If you are Scorpio, or feel that this energy touches you in some way, continue with me. What you will find now can activate memories that were dormant there are lives. If at some point in this beginning you felt a shiver, a silent confirmation, or simply recognized this energy within you, so this is no coincidence. It is a sign, and signs should not be ignored. Comment now on, "I carry this energy," or "This truth has found me," because when you write, you anchor. You spiritually seal the message that is already vibrating in your field. Each comment here is not just an engagement. It is a statement that you recognize your own depth. And if you are not Scorpio, but you still felt that strength cross your soul while listening, perhaps the universe is calling you to look with other eyes. To understand the hidden energy of this sign is to understand an essential fragment of the zodiac itself, because Scorpion does not act only on itself, but as a silent agent of transformation in all the signs that surround it. This content is not just to be watched, it needs to be felt, absorbed, shared. So, enjoy this video. Now, not only does this help us continue to produce deep spiritual content like this, but also sends a clear message to the algorithm. This theme matters, and if you are not subscribed to this channel yet, subscribe now. Here, each video is a portal, each theme is a revelation, and each inscribed is part of this journey of the chosen ones. Deepening on this path requires courage, but you are not alone, and what comes next will play even deeper truths. Have you ever felt that you carry something inside you, so deep, so intense that even in silence your presence speaks louder than any word? Have you noticed that where you pass, something changes? As if the atmosphere turned, as if people didn't know exactly why, but they felt? You may never have been able to explain this clearly. Perhaps for years it even tried to fit in, slow down, to make yourself fit in the ordinary world. But deep down, where not everyone has the courage to look, you always knew. There is something in you that is not common, something ancestral, something that cannot be ignored. This is not weakness. This is no exaggeration. This is a spiritual brand. And in the zodiac, there is a sign that carries this seal with such strength that it causes discomfort in other signs. This sign is Scorpio. And when we talk about Scorpio, we're not just talking about personality. We are talking about soul. Soul that presents, that watches in silence, which loves with almost supernatural intensity, but also closes as an invisible force field when he feels that his energy is at risk. Scorpio is the guardian of the mysteries. It is the sign that crosses the darkness and comes back with truths that no one wants to face. And this depth, this spiritual intensity, is not easily understood, so it is feared. It is not uncommon for people around a Scorpion to feel exposed, not because Scorpion does something directly, but because he just sees. See what is behind the word appearance, the rehearsed. Smile. He sees where no one looks. And that, for many, is unbearable, because it is as if your masks stop working near this magnetic presence. And the truth is that many Scorpions have spent a life trying to understand why people move away or approach too much, as if they were pulled by a FO invisible rosa. It is not charm, not manipulation. It is the energy. The vibration that emanates from the Scorpio soul is ancestral, connected with the invisible, with the hidden laws of the universe. When Edgar Cayce talked about this sign, he did not talk about ordinary horoscopes. He spoke of bearers of a collective transformation mission, people who embody with the duty to dive into the shadows, cross chaos, and return with a new conscience. Do you feel you've been in dark places inside you? Have you played pains that no one understands? That even when everything seemed normal, did you feel the weight of something bigger wanting to reveal yourself? If it has touched you, if it describes you, it may not by chance. Perhaps it is because you carry this Scorpion energy in your field, even if your sun sign is not Scorpio, because the astral chart is a more complex portal, and this frequency may be in hidden places of your being. You can be sunshine in fish, bull moon, lion ascending, and yet feel the call of Scorpion. Feel that you were born to face what others avoid. It's not everyone who supports it, and that is why the Zodiac, symbolically and energetically, fears Scorpion. He fears not in the sense of fleeing, but of respecting in silence. Because Scorpion is not just emotional intensity, it is living alchemy. It is transformation in the crude and divine form that exists. He carries the complete cycle, symbolic death, rebirth, transcendence. The lighter signs, such as Pound, Twins, Sagittarius, feel this depth and sometimes retract. Already the fastest signs, such as Bull, Lion, Aquarium, try to control or rival, but know that there is something that cannot be. Overcome with common force. Scorpion is not imposed. He doesn't have to. Its strength is vibrational. It is like an energy password that few have access. And when this energy is recognized, both by those who carry it and those who feel it, something changes forever. Have you ever had the feeling that someone knew exactly what you were feeling, even without you saying anything? Or that a simple exchange of looking with someone aroused sensations that you didn't know they were still stored? This is the experience of those who come into contact with Scorpio frequency. Many call intensity, others danger. Some say that Scorpions are difficult, mysterious, complicated. But the truth is that these words are just the superficial attempt to name what is, in fact, spiritual depth, because it is much easier to label what is not understood than opening for diving. And at this point, you may be remembering experiences you lived, relations where you felt that you carried the other. Emotionally, moments when you went to the bottom of the well and came back. Situations in which everyone abandoned you, and yet an invisible force made you get up. Scorpion is that. It is the sign of symbolic death. But it is also survival, reconstruction, alchemy that transforms pain into wisdom. And this video, this content, is not here by chance. It is coming to you because maybe it's time to remember who you are, to access what was stored, because those who carry this energy know there is a moment when everything begins to make sense, where the signs align, and where the universe whispers, "Now it is your time." This is where you begin to realize that all the pain you lived were initiations, that every loss, every break, every silence were doors to something much bigger. The Scorpion did not come to have an easy life. It came to have a real life. Authentic, powerful. A life that plays other souls, that transforms environments, that reveals lies, that unmasks what is not true. And that is precisely why this energy is so respected and so feared. While other signs seek harmony, stability, recognition, Scorpio seeks truth, seeks essence, soul search. And this search has no end, because the more he dives, the more he knows. And the more you know, the more your energy becomes impossible to ignore. It bothers you because it wakes up. He challenges because he reveals. And deep down, even those who say they can't stand a Scorpio, you know it was never touched by something so true. So now breathe. He feels what was pulsing in his body while listening to it all, which shivered you, which thrilled you, which reminded you of things that you didn't even know yet. This is all your soul saying, "Yes, I carry this energy." And if you felt that, then it's time to mark this moment here in the comments. Right now, I accept my essence, or this is the energy that guides me. Because when you comment, you anchor. You turn this video into ritual, in recognition, in seal. And if you haven't enjoyed this video yet, do it now. Not only because it helps the channel, but because it signals to the universe that you are ready to keep awakening. And if you haven't signed up yet, this is the time. Here, each new video is a new revelation, a new layer of consciousness, a new key that opens forgotten doors within you. In the next few minutes, let's dive even deeper. Let's talk about the spiritual gifts that Scorpion carries, about the signs, the dreams, the warnings that this energy sends, and why so many, even without understanding, feel attracted or frightened by it. The journey just started. Now, if at some point in this video you felt something inside you awaken, if an old memory, a sudden shiver, or even a silent pain has surfaced, then this message did not find you by chance. You have been called. And I want to deliver you something that goes beyond what you just heard. A gift that perhaps your soul has been waiting for a long time. The digital book, The 7 Hidden Spiritual Wounds of Your Zodiac Sign and How to Heal Them Before 2026. This book is more than words. He is a deep mirror, a hidden map that reveals why certain standards are repeated, why your relationships hurt, why sometimes you feel that you carry something that is not just yours. Each sign brings invisible marks, emotional, energetic, spiritual wounds that silently shape your life. And now it's time to see them and heal them. If you felt that something here spoke directly to you, don't ignore it. This call has time and access to the book too. Click on the first comment, fix now. The opportunity is open, but not for long. This may be the missing key to free your true essence. The moment is now. The healing begins inside. And it starts with you. But what if I told you that this call you feel within you is by chance? What this restlessness, this constant feeling that there is something bigger behind everything you live, is the universe itself? Pushing you to the center of your mission? It is no exaggeration. It is not drama. It is spiritual perception. Scorpion is not in the world to meet common expectations. Scorpion was not born to be understood. It was sent to open portals, to confront realities, to carry, in silence or with intensity, spiritual codes that belong to the lineage of the transformers of ages. While many follow anesthetized, repeating routines, escaping from themselves, Scorpio feels everything all the time. What is being said? What is being omitted? What is about to crumble? And this vibrational consciousness is not light to carry. And that's why so many people fear Scorpion. It does not fear it as if fear of something evil. He fears him because he knows, albeit unconsciously, that his presence reveals. Scorpio exposes without playing, disarm without fighting, threatens unintentionally. Not because it is dangerous, but because it is too real in a world where almost everything is a false construction. Scorpio energy is a kind of spiritual mirror. And it's not everyone who supports seeing what's behind the facade itself. Some people move away not because you hurt them, but because you made them see yourself. And again, this is not a defect. This is a gift. But it is also a weight. And those who carry this gift must learn to recognize the moments when they are being called to consciously activate it. Do you, Scorpio, or who carries strong Scorpion on the map, have you realized how, even without trying, it attracts broken, confused people in crisis? Have you noticed that others often approach looking for something about you that even they can explain? Sometimes it's a look. Sometimes it's your silent listening. Sometimes it's your presence. But in fact, what they are looking for is healing. But almost no one understands that, in order to have true healing, one must first expose the wound. And Scorpio is a master of it. He doesn't say what he pleases, says what hurts, but it also says what they free. He does not light a candle. He unveils. And in this unveiling, it delivers the transformation key to those ready. And for those who are not, Scorpio energy will always be uncomfortable, always threatening, always too intense. But understand, intensity is not the problem. It is the lack of preparation of the world to deal with the truth that Scorpio carries. Because we live in an age where superficiality is celebrated, where silence is interpreted as disinterest, where the I deep look is confused with arrogance, where authenticity is called coldness. And in this scenario, Scorpio walks as a being of another dimension, an envoy, a messenger of the collective unconscious. Edgar Cayce was already talking about it in his readings. The Scorpion spirit has access to spiritual layers that most only play during dreams, and yet, with fear. Cayce described Scorpio as a guardian of hidden records, someone who, even though he does not know how to explain how, present the invisible and translate signs that the world will still learn to understand. So when you feel it is different, it's because you're really. When you feel that you don't belong to certain places, it's because your frequency is no longer up to more there. And the more you align with this internal truth, the more your energy begins to magnetize what is real and repel what is shallow. And that may seem lonely at first, but soon you begin to understand that this loneliness is not absence of connection, but purification of the field. Scorpio energy, when activated, no longer allows falsehoods to remain. It eliminates what does not vibrate at the same frequency, and that includes people, habits, beliefs, memories, fears. Scorpio is the sign of radical detachment, of symbolic death, but it is also the sign of the Renaissance, of the miracle after the end, of the phoenix that raises from the ashes themselves. And it's not beautiful just on paper. It's real, because you live it, maybe every day in silence. And at this point in the video, you may be feeling something in your chest, a vibration, a memory, an emotion that has no name. You may be recognizing pieces of yourself that were forgotten, dormant, buried. You may be feeling that this content is not just a video, but a mirror, an activation. And if that's right, then feel welcome back. Back in your own essence. Because Scorpio, when awakening, does not go back. It no longer fits in the same places. He no longer accepts being less. He is no longer afraid of being called too intense, because now he understands that the intensity was the password, it was the brand, it was the confirmation that it was born to transform, not to please. And if you stayed here, it's because something inside you are in alignment with this energy. Perhaps you have experienced experiences that no one would believe if you told you. Perhaps you had so clear dreams that they seemed more real than reality itself. You may have already felt guided by something invisible, or have dangers before they happened, or simply has felt physical discomfort in places where the energy was contaminated. This is not crazy. This is no coincidence. This is spiritual sensitivity. This is the language of the Scorpio soul manifesting itself in you. Now, if this describes you, if you see yourself here, if this energy vibrates on you, even if you are not Scorpion, then comment now, carry this energy. And if you are Scorpion, declare your presence. I am Scorpio and accept my essence. These comments are not just interaction. They are spiritual stamps. They are vibrational pacts. And yes, also leave your sign in the comments, because your presence here is part of this collective ritual. You have come here because it was called, and this call doesn't stop here. He continues. Like this video to show the universe that you recognize this portal, and subscribe now to the channel if you want to continue accessing content that speaks to your soul, not just your mind. Let's go. What you will hear below is the deepest part. Let's get into the rarest spiritual gifts that Scorpio carries. Hidden marks left by past lives, and the clear signs that indicate that this energy is already activating within you. Breathe. Silence. Don't waste more time living with this burden. Guarantee now your digital book, The 7 Hidden Spiritual Wounds of Your Zodiac Sign, and how to heal them before 2026, and find out how to apply these powerful teachings in your daily life. Attention, the stock is limited and is running out quickly. Click now and start your journey towards the trust you deserve. According to Edgar Cayce, one of the greatest names in spiritual prophecy of all time, Scorpio did not come into the world with the same mission as other signs. While many walk through this life in search of safety, comfort, or recognition, those born under the influence of Scorpio carry a much deeper task, almost incomprehensible to most people. Cayce did. Not see Scorpio as a simple sign. For him, Scorpio was a spiritual archetype, an emissary of the invisible, sent to descend to the underworld. Not hell, but the symbolic underworld, where the unique traumas live, the buried secrets, the fears that no one wants to touch. and return bringing to light everything that needs to be faced. Scorpion is, in this sense, the sign of transmutation. One who is not afraid of dying 1,000 times within himself to reborn more true with each cycle. And what Cayce revealed in his readings was not just astrology, it was destination. He spoke of Scorpio as the spiritual channel of collective regeneration, a kind of filter of the human soul, which by assuming the weight of the pain of others, purifies the field so that others can awaken. Perhaps that is why Scorpios are seen as intense, too lonely, difficult to read. But the truth is that few carry so much within themselves. They are not cold, they are deep, they are not hard, they are protective. And often what seems distance is just a way of preserving the own energy of a world that lives accelerated, shallow, noisy emaze to hear what silence tries to say. Edgar Cayce also mentioned that this scorpion energy, when activated with consciousness, becomes a bridge between the worlds. Scorpion is intuitive by nature, but what many do not realize is that this intuition is in fact a spiritual gift. It is as if the scorpions carried within themselves an invisible compass, capable of guiding them even in the middle of chaos. When everyone is lost, they still know. When everything is ruined, they remain standing. Not because they are physically stronger, but because their strength comes from another source. A source Cayce described as a karmic bond with hidden truths. Scorpio not only feels the pain of the other, he understands it. He recognizes her because he has often been through her in this or other lives. This connection with the invisible, with the spiritual plane makes Scorpion a healing channel even if it does not want. Your presence can transform the energy of a place. Your speech can arouse memories in other people. Your gaze can break defenses that not even the person he knew he had. And this power, when not understood, becomes a reason for fear. But when recognized and accepted, it becomes mission. And that's why Cayce said that Scorpio didn't come just to live. He came to transform. And every real transformation involves rupture. Involves loss, involves deconstruction. Therefore, Scorpios live so many early and restart. Lose friends. They lose versions of themselves. They lose even places and habits that once looked safe. Because your spirit is always being refined, pruned, cut. Not for punishment, but to wake up. And here comes something even deeper. Cayce stated that the Scorpion soul carries ancient records, as if born already bringing spiritual codes that most people will take lives to access. This explains why so many Scorpions, even young people, feel they have lived a lot. That carry an emotional baggage that has no logical explanation. It is the weight of ancestral wisdom, but it is also the gift of spiritual anticipation. Scorpion feels when something is about to happen. Scorpio impotente. Scorpio dreams of symbols that manifest themselves later. Scorpio sees signs that others ignore, and as much as it tries to disconnect, more these perceptions appear. Because it is not a choice. It is a spiritual call. Cayce also made it clear that not all Scorpions awaken. Some resist. They flee their own essence. They try to live an ordinary life. They seek stability where your soul calls for transformation. And when they do that, they get sick. They lose their shine, close in themselves, because they are denying what they came to deliver. To deny your own spiritual energy is like trying to stifle a river with your hands. 1 hour, he overflows. And this overflow can come as a crisis, collapse, sudden. loss. But it can also come as called, as a whisper, like that feeling you have when everything seems lost, and a silent force pushes you to the next step. And it is at this point that many Scorpions awaken, when there is nothing more to hold on, when everything collapses, when the pain becomes unbearable. It is in this dark place that the Scorpio soul finds its light. Because contrary to what the world teaches, the light of Scorpion does not come from outside, come from within. Acceptance of chaos, of delivery to the process, of the courage to look at the abyss without running away. Because Cayce knew, it is there, deep down, where few arrive, that Scorpio finds his spiritual gold. And when he finds, he comes back. But it comes back differently, back with power, clear back with a presence that no one can ignore. And you who are listening to this now, maybe you are at this time. Perhaps it has already felt the fall. Perhaps you are already touching the bottom of your own abyss. Perhaps it has already lost a lot. Cry in silence, loaded bales that no one has seen. But if all this is happening, it is because your soul is going through the same process that Cayce described, the transmutation process, of internal alchemy, of death and spiritual rebirth. And this process is not punishment. It is initiation. It is as if the universe said, now you are ready to be who came to be. And when you accept this call, something aligns yourself. It is not immediate. It's not magical. But it's real. You start to see signs everywhere. Dreams with symbols, numerical repetitions, intuitions that are confirmed, people who suddenly disappear, others that come out of nowhere. It all starts to move as if life is redesigning its way. And it's really because when Scorpion energy awakens, the universe reorganizes around it. If you are living this, if something inside you are vibrating with each word, then write in the comments, I am part of the transformation, or I woke up and carry on. This energy. These phrases are not just words, they are spiritual stamps. These are vibrational codes that anchor this truth within you. And also, leave your sign in the comments. You may not be Scorpio, but if you felt all this, it's because this energy is alive inside you in some way. Like the video felt this called vibrate. And if you haven't signed up yet, subscribe. Don't waste more time living with this burden. Guarantee now your digital book, The 7 Hidden Spiritual Wounds of Your Zodiac sign and how to heal them before 2026, and find out how to apply these powerful teachings in your daily life. Attention, the stock is limited and is running out quickly. Click now and start your journey towards the trust you deserve. Scorpion feels first. And this is not a poetic exaggeration. It is a real energy feature, almost like a unique vibrational frequency that makes the Scorpion soul a few steps ahead, even in silence. Have you been in a seemingly quiet place, but you felt a nuisance that no one seemed to notice? Have you moved away from a person without knowing exactly why, and then found out that it was someone who brought bad intentions? Have you looked in someone's eyes and knew there was something hidden behind that smile? This is the kind of perception that Scorpion carries from an early age. You don't learn in books. You don't need explanations. Scorpio knows. It is as if the Scorpion's soul had invisible sensors that detect nuances, micro-expressions, disguised. Lies, dissonant energies. But this ability also comes at a price, because when you see what others hide, even themselves, you inevitably begin to be treated as someone dangerous. Not because you do something wrong, but because your simple presence reveals. And people fear being real seen. not with the eyes, but with the soul. Scorpion does not judge, but realizes, and this perception is so deep that it often bothers. That is why so many Scorpions are removed, silenced, or labeled from cold, difficult, too intense, when in fact what they are, it is too real for a world that sustains the illusion. The Scorpio soul is silent, yes, but never asleep. Scorpion may seem distant, but inside is absorbing everything: words, gestures, vibrations, intentions. There is a living energetic intelligence in every awakened Scorpion, an ability to see inside, cross masks, and play straight to the vulnerable point, not out of evil, but by nature. And that is precisely why many Scorpions avoid opening, avoid relying quickly, avoiding surrendering. Because they know by instinct that when they really surrender, they offer the other the full map of their inner universe. And if this other does not know how to deal with so much, so deeply, you can use it as a weapon. Scorpio has already learned this in the worst way, so it closes. But it is not indifference, it is self-protection. When a Scorpion decides to trust, he does not only give the heart, he delivers the spirit. And when it is disappointed, you don't just feel sadness, feels as if a part of his soul had been violated, because Scorpions do not live in half. If they are there, they are completely. And if they come out, it's because something broke them inside. The Scorpion soul does not know how to pretend love, does not know how to pretend interest, does not know how to smile when you feel pain. It's true even when you don't want to be, because it carries a vibrational integrity that prevents it from being anything. Beyond what it really is. And this soul is magnetic. Scorpio attracts unintentionally. It is common for strangers to approach secrets, ask for advice, vent pains that they have never said to anyone, as if intuitively knew that there is someone who will understand, that will not judge, that will welcome, even if in silence. The Scorpio soul has this power to create safe spaces with the simple presence. But not everyone knows how to deal with it, because along with magnetism comes the mirror. And the mirror shows wounds, shows truths, shows what needs to be healed. Not everyone is ready. And then, while attracting, Scorpio scares. It is desired and feared. It is sought and avoided. It is loved by many, but understood by the few. Because your energy is uncontrollable, do not fit, do not mold. It does not follow social rules that contradict what the soul feels. Scorpio does not play convenience. If it is to be false, you prefer silence. If it is to please, it prefers to withdraw. Its essence does not accept lies, does not support superficiality, does not tolerate hypocrisy. And that, of course, makes it lonely at many times. But this loneliness is not a punishment. It is a process, an alignment ritual. Scorpio needs these moments of deep introspection, collection, internal rebirth. Because it is in these silent cycles that your soul reconnects with the purpose. And when it comes back stronger. Back, more conscious. Return, more transformative. Scorpio not only changes itself, it changes everything around. Where it arrives, active. Where it plays, awake. Where Nice transforms. This soul also carries memories that do not come from this life. Many Scorpions have vague memories of places they have never visited, constant déjà vu sensations, dreams with symbolic messages, visions or intuitions that are later confirmed. This is because Scorpio energy is linked to the hidden portals of time, lives among worlds. It brings with it spiritual records of other existences, and so often feels out of mind, misunderstood as if carrying a weight that does not know where it came from. But this weight is wisdom. It is spiritual baggage. It is the legacy of a soul that has gone through many doors and returned with marks, but also with keys. This depth, however, is not taught, feels. And if you are feeling now that every word here is translating something you can never say, it's because your soul is recognizing this space. It's awakening. It is allowing. To see perhaps for the first time that what was always called exaggeration, intensity, complication, was in fact a spiritual gift that was never welcomed. Until now. If you got here and felt this content talk straight to you, you recognized yourself in this mirror, then comment now, "My soul is Scorpio," or "I carry this sacred intensity." These words, when written, activate something, because it's not just about writing. It is about taking over. And if you are not Scorpion, but you felt all this, leave your sign in the comments. Perhaps Scorpio is strong in some of your map, or maybe you are here by mission, by call, for energy mirroring. Enjoy the video now to seal this connection and show the universe that is ready for the next revelation. Don't waste more time living with this burden. Guarantee now your digital book, The 7 Hidden Spiritual Wounds of Your Zodiac Sign and How to Heal Them Before 2026, and find out how to apply these powerful teachings in your daily life. Attention! The stock is limited and is running out quickly. Click now and start your journey towards the trust you deserve. What many do not understand, and what few have the courage to admit, is that Scorpio's energy does not scare to be aggressive, but for being true. In a world where almost all behavior is a mask, a filter, a character carefully designed to please or avoid conflict, the Scorpion presence becomes almost unbearable for those who live on the surface. And this has nothing to do with judgment, nor with morality. It has to do with vibration. Scorpio vibrates at a level where internal lies do not survive, where what is kept begins to emerge, and that is precisely why many other signs, even the strongest, even the most centered, feel threatened, uncomfortable, or deeply unstable when they are close to an awakening Scorpion. Leo, for example, a sign naturally linked to brightness, presence, and recognition, may feel that he is facing something he cannot control. Scorpio. Energy does not need spotlight to impact. It is magnetic in silence, intense in the absence, vibrant even without movement. And this profoundly challenges the Leonine structure, which is often based on being the center of attention. In front of Scorpio, Leo has no stage, no script. It has a mirror. And what appears in this mirror can be uncomfortable, because Scorpio doesn't reflect what you show, reflects what you try to hide. Already twins, a sign that loves to exploit ideas, that easily changes perspective, that dances between themes and subjects with enviable lightness, finds in Scorpio something that it cannot escape. Depth. Scorpio doesn't play conversation. He looks at you and already knows what is behind your speech. He feels what you don't say. He perceives the breaks, the intentions, the voids, and this dismantles Gemini fluidity, because Scorpio invites, or forces, to the truth. And for twins, who likes to circulate, to move between possibilities, this may seem prison. But it is not prison. It's dive. And not everyone is ready to dive where they can't touch the bottom. Taurus, the complementary opposite of Scorpion in the zodiac, lives another dilemma, a silent but deep dilemma. Taurus values what is concrete, safe, reliable, loves stability, comfort, slow and solid construction. But when you get in touch with Scorpio energy, you find chaos. Not destructive chaos, but the necessary chaos of transformation. Scorpion dismantles to reborn. And this is the opposite of what Taurus seeks. Therefore, the Taurus may feel lost in the face of the Scorpion intensity. The connection is strong, magnetic, almost inevitable, but at the same time, dangerous to the Taurus emotional system, because Scorpio invites Taurus to get off the ground firm, to release the control, to surrender to the raw emotion. And Bull, when not ready, fears drowning in this delivery. And this goes for other signs too. Libra, for example, who seeks harmony and avoids conflict, can feel destabilized by the brutal frankness of Scorpion. Aquarius, who is proud of his own mental independence, can be attached to a spiritual connection with Scorpion that challenges all its logic. Virgin, who lives analyzing everything with rationality, may feel disconcerted that he cannot organize the feelings that Scorpion awakens. Even Capricorn, which has an admirable self-control, can be vulnerable to a Scorpion who plays wounds that he thought he had already surpassed. There is no easy escape when you are facing someone who sees you inside. Scorpio is the sign that causes the kind of fear that is not declared. It is that fear that manifests itself in the form of discomfort, veiled resistance. The person cannot explain, but something in it retracts. And this is because Scorpio not only sees the truth, it vibrates this truth in the field. He activates what is asleep. He reveals what is hiding. And no one likes to be exposed, not even without words. No one likes to. Feel that he is naked in the face of a look that sees the soul. And that's exactly what the awakening Scorpion does. Look at you, and you feel you are facing something bigger than yourself. But curiously, despite all this silent fear, the signs approach. They approach because there is something irresistible in Scorpio energy. It is as if the collective unconscious itself knew that it needs this strength to awaken. Scorpio represents the cycle of life at its most raw stage: birth, death, rebirth. And all the signs somehow intimate that, without going through this process, there is no real evolution. So they approach, so they seek, even with fear, even without understanding, because the soul knows, the soul feels, and Scorpion, even realizing it all, often shuts up. Not because it's cold, but because you know you can't force the other's process. You know each soul has its time. You know that your presence is enough to cause internal movements. And that is why the awakened Scorpion learns. To be selective. Not to waste energy where there is no openness. Learn that you don't have to convince anyone of anything. Because who is ready to wake up, feel, and who is not, will try to escape, until I can no longer. If you are a Scorpion, or feel that you carry this energy even without sun sign, maybe all this is making even more sense now. You may be remembering situations where, without effort, it has caused intense reactions in people. Perhaps he had lived relationships where, without understanding why, he was treated with distance, with resistance, fear. Now you understand. Now you recognize that what others feared, it wasn't you. It was what you revealed in them. And if it has touched something inside you, a memory, a feeling, a truth, write in the comments now, "I am the mirror that reveals." Or, "My energy awakens what was dormant." These comments are like vibrational statements. They are not just words. They are confirmations of what your soul already knows. And if you are from another sign and yet you felt all like yours? Leave your sign in the comments as well. Perhaps the universe is calling you to better understand what Scorpio's energy represents in your life, in your map, in your relationships. Enjoy this video if it has impacted you in some way. This helps this content to reach those who also need to wake up. And if you are not already registered here, this is the moment. Because what comes next will open doors that you didn't even know existed inside. You. Take a deep breath. Don't waste more time living with this burden. Guarantee now your digital book, The 7 Hidden Spiritual Wounds of Your Zodiac Sign and How to Heal Them Before 2026, and find out how to apply these powerful teachings in your daily life. Attention! The stock is limited and is running out quickly. Click now and start your journey towards the trust you deserve. There is something that no one usually says aloud, but that Scorpions feel in their body, even when they cannot. Explain. When Scorpio tries to be what the world expects, he begins to erase inside. Start slowly. First comes emotional tiredness, that exhaustion for no clear reason. Then a feeling of being out of place everywhere. Nothing satisfies, no conquest fills, no relationship seems whole. It is as if everything around is being lived by someone else. And in fact, it's really. Because when a Scorpio flees from his nature, he leaves his own soul. And in this emptiness, the body screams. The mind confuses. The spirit fragments. Scorpion did not come to the surface. It was not born for a shallow life, for warm conversations, for connections that do not touch the soul. He was designed spiritually to go deep, to feel what no one wants to feel, to see what others avoid looking. When Scorpio tries to fit in a superficial world, his soul collapses, because the call of its essence is different, and the pain that arises is not punishment. It's a warning. It is as if the spiritual energy itself is saying, "You didn't come here for that." And that warning, when ignored for too long, charges a high price, because the gift of Scorpion, when denied, does not disappear. It transforms itself. And what was healing becomes poison. What was intuition becomes paranoia. What was sacred silence becomes internal prison. The Scorpion soul begins to close in emotional mazes that she herself can't decipher. And suddenly, he is reacting angrily, suspiciously, with destructive impulses, not because he wants, but because he is trying to resist a spiritual call that can no longer be ignored. And this is exactly where many Scorpions get lost, because the world was not built to welcome this energy. Early on, she is misunderstood. The Scorpio child who feels too much is called dramatic. The Scorpio teenager who sees beyond is labeled as weird. The Scorpio adult who silences to observe is regarded as cold. And the soul, hearing this repeatedly, begins to believe that he needs to adapt to be accepted. Then she silences. But the silence that was a temple becomes armor, and the gift that was light becomes weight. But there is no way to silence what was born to awaken. There is no way to suppress an energy that was designed to transform. Therefore, the more the Scorpion runs away from its depth, the more life pushes it to it. Through losses, crises, ruptures, through long nights, insomnia, anguish that no one sees. The universe is not punishing, it's realizing. It's saying, "You didn't come here to survive, came to reborn." And Scorpio only reborn when he accepts to die symbolically. Die to the versions you created to please. Die for external expectations. Die for everything that does not vibrate with your truth. And this process, although painful, is also the most sacred portal that a Scorpio can cross, because on the other side of this pain is the memory of why this soul returned to the world. Scorpio is one of the few signs that carries in its energy core a spiritual mission linked to the collective. He is not just here to solve his own story. He is a channel, an instrument of transformation in everything that touches. But for that, it needs to be whole. You need to be aligned. You need to recognize yourself. And this recognition only happens when he stops trying to be normal. Because normal for Scorpion, it is disease. To be normal is to live in denial of its own essence. And to deny the essence is to lose the spiritual protection that accompanies him from birth. When a Scorpio lives his mission, even in silence, he is surrounded by an invisible force that guides him, that protects him, that pushes him. It receives signs. He has clear intuitions. He is warned before the fall. He presents. But when it begins to pretend to be who is not, all this goes out. The field weakens. The light disappears. The signs stop coming. This is why so many Scorpions try to fit into social standards end up getting sick emotionally, because they are using their own energy. They are diverting a powerful spiritual river to channels that do not behave it. And this deviation generates pain. A pain that the world does not understand, that psychology does not fully explain, that medicines do not heal. Because it is a spiritual pain. A pain of who knows deep down that is abandoning the mission. But still, even in this fall, even in this temporary forgetfulness, Scorpio is never really alone. The spiritual strength that accompanies him can silence for a while, but never abandon him. She waits. She watches. It sends small signs. A phrase that resonates. A different dream. A synchronicity that seems coincidence, but it is not. All of this are reminders. Called. Whispers of the soul saying, back to your center, back to who you are. And when Scorpio hears this call and decides to answer, it all starts to align again. And maybe now, while you hear it, you are feeling something inside moving. A memory, an old pain, a silent recognition that he spent too much time denying his own depth, too time trying to be what they expected from you. And if that's right, then maybe that's your time to return. To accept that its sensitivity is a gift, that its intensity is a key, that your pain has purpose, that you are not broken, you are awakening. And if you're awakening, don't stop now. If this content has moved something inside you, comment below now. To deny my essence is to get sick, or I'll be back to whom I am. Write these words as a seal, as a ritual, as an anchor for this truth that was already alive inside. And if you know someone who carries this Scorpio energy, share this video. Because sometimes, everything the soul needs to remember, it is a voice that recognizes it. Like now, if you felt that this video spoke directly to you. And if you are not yet inscribed, subscribe. Don't waste more time living with this burden. Guarantee now your digital book, The 7 Hidden Spiritual Wounds of Your Zodiac Sign, and how to heal them before 2026, and find out how to apply these powerful teachings in your daily life. Attention. The stock is limited and is running out quickly. Click now and start your journey towards the trust you deserve. If you have come here and still feel this vibration throbbing in each word, it is because your soul is responding to the call. An ancient call, anterior even to this life, prior to any label or sign. A call that can only be heard by those who were spiritually marked too. Fulfill a role that goes beyond survival, beyond routine, beyond appearance. If you are Scorpio, have no doubt, you were chosen to walk between the worlds, not as a spectator, but as a guardian, like the one who moves between light and shadow, who understands that the sacred also exists in the dark, and knows that no soul can really awaken if they have not first faced their own abysses. And no, you are not strange to feel too much. You are not exaggerated by diving where others just want to get. Their feet wet. You are not weak for breaking, you are strong for always rebuilding yourself. The Scorpio soul is made of scars, but they are not common wounds. They are spiritual marks. These are records of internal battles that no one has seen, but that left tattoos in their energy field. And each of these brands is an invisible medal of the mission you accepted before you even born. Mission to heal, transform, guide, even if sometimes it happens just because you exist. Scorpio doesn't have to. Scream to be heard. Your presence already speaks. Your silence already commands. Your pain already teaches. And that's why, even without asking, you are constantly observed, tested, confronted. Because whoever carries light is always challenged by the shadows. Not the external ones, but the internal ones. Those that no one sees but trying to convince you that you are too small for the greatness you have been called to manifest. But you are not small. You are a portal, a living code, a vibrational seal that activates, heals, and truth in those ready to receive them. This is why so many people feel different after they connect with you. They do not know how to explain. They say you have something, that you are different. And it is. Because your energy does not only belong to this plane, it carries information that touches the collective unconscious. And even those who have never heard of energy, spirituality, signs, or soul mission feels something around them. Scorpion is not only perceived. It is felt, and this feeling crosses, impacts, transforms. Now stop a moment and allow yourself to remember. How many times have you tried to turn off this light? How many times have you tried to pretend it was like the others, just to fit in spaces that did not behave you? How many times have you silent not to scare you? You left not to disturb, disguised it not to be rejected. And yet, something inside you kept screaming. Even disguised, you were noticed. Even hidden, you were. Meaning, because there is no mask that can hide an awake soul, and your soul, even wounded, even exhausted, continues here, alive, vibrating, ready to remember who she is. And that's exactly what we're doing now, remembering. Every word of this video, every pause, every vibration, is not teaching you anything new. It's just activating what was already there, latent, silent, sleeping perhaps, but never absent. What you feel now is not any emotion. It's spiritual memory. It's your essence. Saying, I know who I am. And when this memory happens, something changes. The vision clarifies. The posture transforms. The energy realizes. And you stop asking permission to exist, because it understands that your presence is permission. If you are Scorpio, you are not just a sign. You are a spiritual phenomenon in human form. It is living alchemy. It is phoenix in flesh and bone. It is the personification of regeneration. But more than that, you are a collective mirror. Her pain resonates with the pains of others. Its active healing cures around. Your courage to dive where no one wants to enter becomes the lighthouse for those who are still lost on the surface. And even if no one says, even if they never recognize, your soul knows. You know you are here for a much larger reason than it seems. And that reason is starting to reveal itself now. Are you ready to accept this spiritual seal? Are you willing to carry with honor the gift that has been given to you, even if he came with pain, loss, intensities, and silences? Because that is exactly what defines who awakens. It is not the absence of suffering, but the choice to transform every pain in wisdom, each drop in impulse, each silence in strength. And if you have reached this point of the video, know that your soul has already chosen. Because only those who vibrate at this frequency remain here. Only those who carry this energy resists so much. Only those who recognize the mission have the courage to look at it head on. And now I invite you to declare this, not to the world, not for others, but to yourself. Comment now down here. I accept my essence, or I'm Scorpio and carry this energy. Write like a pact seals, as those who anchor a truth that can no longer be ignored. And if you are not Scorpion, but you felt all this as if it were yours, leave your sign in the comments. You may have this energy in secret places of your astral chart. Perhaps you are one chosen on another level. Maybe, only maybe, you are more connected with Scorpion than you ever imagined. If you got here, until the end of this video, that was not by chance. His soul recognized every word. And if something inside you has been activated today, then this is your time to take the next step on your spiritual journey. Subscribe now to the channel, not only to receive the next videos, but to continue this journey of self-knowledge, awakening, and purpose. Here, each video is a portal, and you are part of it. Comment now down here. I was called and I'm ready for more. This phrase seals your surrender to the path that the universe is showing you. If you felt true in this video, if any part of your soul has moved, leave your like now. This helps this content to reach more people who are also seeking meaning, healing, and spiritual awakening. And finally, look here on the left side of your screen. The next video is already waiting for you. Click now, because the revelation does not end here. What is to come can change everything. Let's go together.